Okay.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the office hours. I apologize. I think some of you may have been waiting for a while. I apologize. If you can turn on your video cameras, please, that'll be really great. So I know you're a real person. Hi, Selva Kumar. How are you?
Okay, give me a minute.
Okay. Gurjeet, Alicia, Ronald, if you can turn on your video cameras, please, that would be really great. At least, or just text me, chat me, and let me know you can't. Welcome. Selva Kumar, can you hear me? Hi, Gurjeet. How are you? Hi.
Yes, I can.
You can. Hi. Hi. Okay, and all right, great. So welcome everybody. As you might know, this, and I apologize again for there's some kind of technical snafu with Alignable. So my apologies. I'll try to get to the bottom of it for the next week. So my apologies for those of you who are waiting online. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sunil Bhaskaran. I've been a mentor, business owner since 1991. Written books on the topic of small business ownership. And I run an organization that has about 200,000 members around the world, hundreds of meetup groups. I probably coach, mentor tens of thousands of people in various formats, from conferences through one-on-one coaching, through intimate gatherings like this. Today's session is called an office hours session. So it's geared towards you. It's geared towards answering questions that you have. And so it's really contingent upon you to come up with questions. The questions I invite you to do, please don't ask me general questions. Try to make it specific to yourself, specific challenges that you have. So if you have a challenge, give me the objective, where you want to go. What's the thing that's holding you back in your business, be it psychological, emotional, or logical. Let me know what that is. Okay, and I'm happy to take questions, and we'll go until about 1 o'clock or so Pacific time. Who'd like to go first, please, sir? And if you're having trouble formulating a question, I can help you with that. I don't mean to sound intimidating. I'm not, I assure you. But if you have a question, please ask. Gurjeet, yes, please. Your question, please, Gurjeet.
My biggest struggle is that I used to have small, programs, like a small program, one program that was educational for pregnant women. But I want to move on to, high ticket coaching and like providing support for the woman throughout her pregnancy. And my struggle is like, how do I make it worthwhile? Like, what's the magic ingredient, or what should I do to make it worthwhile for high ticket?
Very good. Very great question. I encourage people like you to go high ticket because it's a really good idea. High ticket means, you're getting closer to the luxury market, which means you're going to be more recession proof in my experience. I like the luxury market. I like going up market. I'm happy when I hear coaches like you are experts. And some of you may not be experts. Some of you may in different aspects of service provision. But anytime you go up market, that's good. So let me give you the so-called magic ingredients. Not really quite magic once you do it, really. I do magic every day. Once you do magic, after all, it becomes normal. But the magic ingredient, I'll tell you what sells, and then I'll start from abstractions and give you some specifics. And then you can also, let me see if I have it here. You can also sign up for or apply for this discovery session with me to dive deeper. These are not sales sessions, by the way. These are dedicated to making a difference with you. And so should you want to work with me, we can talk about that, but that's usually a mutual decision. Okay, so what's the magic? The most important thing nowadays, you can either sell by pain, which in the luxury market, in the premium market, doesn't work very well. This is where a lot of marketers fail. So they say things like, if you don't do my program, your baby will die in 5 minutes. You don't want to do stuff like that, obviously. And I'm exaggerating this, but it's what a lot of people tend to do. Luxury market, you want to sell them a future. That's the first thing. A future that's compelling enough. So that sometimes is hard to get because we're in our own world as a service provider for people. The best way to discover this is to interview people you worked with and ask them, why did you choose me over other people? First question. Second question, is what was distinct about my service from other people you may have experienced. What made the birth process more intriguing for you, what made it better, a better experience? How was it before? How was it after? Listen very keenly, record what they say because you want to put it in their English. When you have that in their English, it becomes what I call business Shakespeare. Business Shakespeare is the best kind of languaging you want to use in marketing. So it tells people these are the 4 things you're going to get in this premium program. The first is that you will have a beautiful experience of birth from a greater certainty. I cannot guarantee you because life is not full of guarantees, but this is what I can promise you. And you get those specific results and specific experiences that it can have. Results, experience, emotional state change. That's what people will buy at that level. And you can charge, way more probably than you're doing right now. When people come to me and they go up market, their income usually goes up by about 50 to 75% more. I repeat it again, 50 to 75% more. With, less problems, that you might face. And I'm not putting down the lower market in any shape or form. People are justified in having the problems they have. But when you go up market, people tend to pay more. They tend to respect you more. They tend to show up on time. They tend to do their work. It's a better business overall. Yeah. So specifics. This is where I'm just going to tell you the truth. That you may need to talk with me or someone like me who's not a copy person. Copy is not what you need. You need good languaging. Languaging is above copy. And AI can't do this because AI depends on data that it may not have about you and your market necessarily. So you need to sit down and kind of figure out, the first step is, what are the 4 or 5 things, results, experiences, emotional state changes that I can promise that can be worded very well? From that, you create a good title for your program. Then you give 3 or 4 stages that you lead people through to get them there. You emphasize in your selling process the what people get, those 4 deliverables, 8 deliverables in the max. Explain less about how, because they don't need to know how until they are more committed to buying from you. The people who ask for how prematurely are mostly looking for an excuse to dismiss your option, you see? So it's a good way to discover who's really serious when they ask more about what they're going to get first. And then explain the how in simple stages. Don't over-explain it because you'll be giving away your program. So you don't want to do that necessarily, okay? Now, if you do that, once you do that, pricing becomes a matter of declaration. And I know that's a mouthful, but basically what I'm saying is pricing is actually made up. You can do some marketing strategy and figure out what other people are charging, and that may be of some use. But the truth is, in the luxury market, people will pay whatever, as long as the future you promise them is worth it. I hope I'm making sense.
That was the first part, which is I've gotten some idea, like, how to apply it to my particular program. But the other thing is pricing, because I hear people talking about 5,000, 10,000 and all those. That doesn't make sense to me. So I'm struggling with the pricing for the high ticket also.
Well, that's mostly a psychological obstacle on your part, you see. And I mean that in the most honoring way, because most service-oriented professions have this issue. And mostly it's an internal issue that you'll have to do some deeper reflection and ask yourself and really interview the people that you've worked with. I just did some work with a coach who had the same issue. This is a very common issue. By the way, I've gone through it myself. And I'll tell you that once you start interviewing your clients and really getting present, and the key word is present, really super present to the kind of value you truthfully provide, then you'll have to ask yourself, to honor myself, I should be charging those rates. Because if I don't, it becomes an element of dissatisfaction, which I can already hear, because I'm very, very keenly listening to you.
That makes a lot of sense. And I do think of that, but I don't know why I think, they're at that stage where they have so many expenses, like they have to buy this and that, and it's not like I'm the only thing they have to spend on.
Yeah,
And when I
that's
think of that, then I get the block, like, no.
yeah, and that's very natural because that's how you were. It's probably a decision you made. Might be very young, 5, 4 years. Probably came from your parents because your parents were honorable people who took care of people, and you felt like that. And so charging more money would sound like a betrayal of your parents, but it's not really. It's your ego playing tricks on you, I assure you. And you see, that's why I say it's an act of declaration. It's better than a revolution for you because it's intentional. It's creating a future where you are honored as a healer, someone who makes a difference and gets paid commensurately. And this
So
is
there
very
is a,
important for a lot of you, probably. Some of you may have got this handled, but most
yes,
of you have
yes.
this
And
issue.
so what about people who really would benefit, want my service, but genuinely cannot pay?
I'll tell you something that's very interesting in my experience. If you do this correctly and you do it without attachment, people in those positions will find a way to pay you, and they'll do it within integrity. My own first mentor was an example. In 1991, I really wanted to work with my mentor. He was fabulous. And he finally told me, Sunil, it's going to cost you $12,000 to work with me. 1991. I just bought a home in Rancho Santa Margarita. My salary at that point as a beginning engineer was barely about 30,000. With a bonus, I would get 40. Wasn't enough, plus all my debt. And so he told me this though. He told me, listen, I know you want to work with me, but you have to get a loan or some kind of financing. I don't want you to get a horrible credit card. If you come and work with me, you have to show me your loan agreement. I had to go and get a very outstanding good loan agreement that was fair and show it to him. And he said, yes, okay, we can work together. You have to bring that kind of spirit to the game. And some people, it'll be a no for now.
Thank you. I think I have my question answered.
Very
Thank
good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for answering it in such a very good way. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody else with a question, similar question, or some other question you have about your business? Remember, this is an office hours. Please no networking, and just focus on the questions at heart. Yeah. Anybody else with a question? Jayanti Krishna, you have a question, madam?
No, I just joined in. I'm just taking in all. So yeah, I mean, this topic really was very interesting. And of course, all of us want that cash flow and the workflow. So
You,
I'm
you,
here
you
to
read the instructions, right? To come with questions. So if you have a question,
definitely, I will come up with
okay,
questions.
great. Make sure you come
Definitely,
up with a question. Ask
definitely,
and you
sure.
shall receive. A lot of you are like trying to figure out what to ask and understand, but you
You
just
know
want to
what? I'm
engage
a
them.
podcaster, so that's what I do.
So
I
you should
ask
know this, right?
questions.
Yeah. So you want to engage in the question. What is the question that I
Absolutely.
really need to ask? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of you don't know the right question to ask, and you're trying to figure it out. But sometimes you just gotta like engage in the conversation.
Absolutely.
Anybody else who has a question, please? Selva Kumar, I've seen you come here before. What questions you have, man? Come on,
Yeah,
challenge
so
me, man. I'm sitting
uh,
here hungry for questions. I'm hungry. I'm hungry for good Indian food too, but a good question will be really good right now. So Selva, yeah, go ahead. I know you're a filmmaker, right?
yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially in the film industry, uh, leveraging cash flow is really, really hard. For example, say I'm a producer, so for production, you know, uh, business, while you start, like I've been doing this for like 8 years now after my film school, so I have not made a single penny yet. I've only like spent money, right? So a business like this is more like an IP development. So I think it would be the same case for a specific app or software development also for any IP development business. So how uh, entrepreneurs stay afloat uh, for such longer times without cash flow or with minimal cash flows, how do you actually like motivate them to stay afloat and then like to stay on the game, until cash starts flowing into the business?
There's so many
You
ways.
just echoed my question too, buddy. Yeah, it is. I'm also in the initial stages, so I cannot expect cash flow yet, but I know I'm getting there. So keeping, motivated is a big thing. So
Yeah.
yes, please. Yeah.
There's some background noise, and I'm going to have to unmute some people here. All right. A couple of ways I can answer, but this is the best way. Okay. If you don't mind, Captain Kirk, you need to mute yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Captain Kirk. Starship Enterprise.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, if you can just mute yourself, please. Thank you. Thank you, Captain Kirk. All right. So the vision of the Starship Enterprise was to go, well, what was it in? To go to places you've never been before, whatever it is. A good mission statement, a good vision statement that you take seriously, that willing to put your stake your life, property, and sacred honor on is a really good start. I can hear Gurjeet having one. Saving millions of lives all over the world through the birth process. So giving people, millions of mothers around the world, the experience of a pleasant, healthy birth, right? So my mission statement is to have, my future statement, is to have at least 100 million joyful and successful solopreneurs in the world by 2050. Now, I take that very seriously. I repeat it again, I take that very seriously. If you watch me work, okay, it's what focuses me, it's where my decisions come from. When I have my albeit very rare moments of doubt, where do I go to? I read the vision statement, the future statement. I look at the structures I'm creating. See, when you do top-down design, which is what I advocate for people, you start with your vision statement. Now, a lot of people poo-poo the vision statement. They do so at their own peril. I repeat it again, you do so at your own peril, because you really have to almost invent a stronger reason for you to stay in the game. Because if you don't invent one, other people will invent one for you. Does that make sense? If you want to stay anchored, you got to anchor yourself. So how do you create a mission statement? The first step, by the way, I'll give you a video you guys can watch that explains how I created a vision statement and saved about 10 million lives, 100 million lives around the world. I'll give you this video. You know what? I'll do it later. You guys want to just let me know. It's about a 10-minute video, but I'm going to give you the same process I used. My mentor had me go through this. The first thing to do is list out 30 words and phrases that call to you, inspire you. It's amazing how your subconscious actually can inform you, dying to inform you or living to inform you. Come up with 30 words or phrases. It could be phrases like making a difference. It could be integrity. It could be compassion. It could be saving lives. It could be generating stellar entertainment for billions of people in Asia.
I think we need some more
Yeah, so
guidance creating a vision
mine is
statement.
developing,
Yeah.
quality content that touches hearts and
You don't
inspire
want to
other
jump
people.
into that yet. Don't want to jump ahead of the process.
No, this is what I've already mentioned on my website and Lineable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then does that call to you inspire you?
Developing quality content that inspires people and touches hearts.
Beautiful. And you memorize it. That's good. Second step is so the first step is to come up with 30 words and phrases. Take the best 10, craft a sentence like your one sentence, simple, easy. Don't get caught up in all what the startup and tech people tell you. You got to create a vision and then a mission statement and all that. Don't worry about all that. Just have a simple, because you guys are entrepreneurs, you're a smaller business. You just need a future statement. Okay. Memorize it. Once you have that, you want to create all your structures, all your practices should be based with the question, is what I'm doing every day moving that vision statement forward? The second question to wake up in the morning and ask yourself before you plan your day is, what are the top 4 things I'm going to do, top 4 projects to express this vision statement for today? At least move it a little bit forward today. Okay. Some of that for you, for your case, Selva Kumar, is you may need to start putting together an offer of what your movie is to get funding. So you may need to, one action would be to start crafting that offer page, a summary page at least, and then a pitch. And then start identifying a list of 100 investors, friendly, family, or commercial, and start putting together a pitch that's aligned with this vision. Start looking for people who align with your vision, are interested in at least having a conversation or can introduce you to investors. The whole process here, I'm not going to go through it all, but there's a whole process that you can design from a vision statement that can design a fantastic, outstanding business that will be very laser-like. It'll get right down to the heart of the matter. It'll save you a lot of time. Start putting money in your pocket. There's something in what you're saying, Sal, I can hear it in your languaging, where you may be avoiding raising money because you don't quite believe in the vision. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what it is, but it's certainly there. If you haven't raised money by now, there's something a little off about something's going on, you know? You may have to go people about it.
No. I don't think that we already have finance for one of the firms. It's not about raising money. It's about
so your only
securing distribution. Securing distribution is the
sorry, pardon me for I thought I heard
it's not about raising
something about not getting results.
No, I was talking about like cash flow, infusing cash flow into the business, not into the movie, into the business itself. Like my business has like multiple projects. So for a couple of projects, financing is already on, but it's about securing distribution, making the film happen in releasing it, which, like not just for like one project, for several projects
just
together.
In the interest of time, I apologize for interrupting you, but I need to. Your original question was how to keep yourself motivated, I think, or on track. Was that correct? Okay, so I've given you the answer to that question. All right, okay. So does that answer your question for now, or is there anything else that
Yes, it does.
Okay, you may have another question about distribution, perhaps, or getting distribution, and I can answer that. But I just want to give other people a chance here to ask questions as well. Okay. So thank you for your patience, and I apologize if I didn't quite get what your real point was. Anybody else with a question relevant to this? Gurjeet, I thought you had something, or anybody else new? Captain Kirk, you said you have two questions. Yeah, just one, please, one at a time. Yeah, if you don't mind. Captain, yeah. You need to unmute yourself because we can't hear you. We can't hear you. You need to unmute yourself. Go ahead and unmute.
How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. All right. What's your question, please?
Well, first of all, thank you. I remember you we go back many, many, many years ago, but I won't talk about it right now.
Okay.
However, here's my two things. Since I have tried with a small group to turn my glorified hobby that I enjoy into a business model for legacy, and I wanted to train and encourage, I found because of that, I have lost a lot. So now I'm turning my attention back to me being the global magnet that I am. And I started thinking that rather than keep depending on everybody to do certain things, all the way from research to marketing to even grassroots stuff. So I wanted a suggestion on what I've been looking at lately called the one marketing concept, where they do everything in one marketing.
Yeah. Sorry, someone was talking. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your question about that specifically? Yeah.
I like to get. I'm looking at trying to be independent and using all the app tools in order to get me a great start, so I can attract people. So I was wondering, what do you recommend as a one marketing concept that includes CRMs and and email blasts and texting, put it all together so that I can be effective as a one-person operation until I can build.
You'll have to take an engineering approach to this rather than trying to look for the right platform. That's the mistake. Number one mistake most people make is they're trying to find the right platform that answers everything, but it probably doesn't exist.
Okay.
And you're talking to someone, I have a double degree in electrical engineering and computer science. I'm not trying to challenge you. I'm just trying to tell you the truth about marketing. You're better off starting from foundational principles of what your intended results are. So you probably have maybe 2, 3, 4 intended results. You want to make that very specific and measurable. So you want to get number of clients paying at this level or in this market by the end of this year. That would be a specific measurable goal. From there, I will work backwards and create a sales funnel. So what are the stages that would get people there? You want to work backwards from that. So if they're a client, what's the thing that happened before they became a client? Maybe it was a meeting with you or 2 or 3 meetings before they became a client. What happened before those 3 or 3 meetings? Maybe they came to a webinar with you. Then the stage before that is how do you get people into the webinar? So on and so
Well,
forth.
let me interact just for one section.
Sure. Yeah.
Let me just bring up so I am a chess instructor. I teach chess to adults and children.
Great.
So what I'm doing now is I'm expanding it rather than me go. I've now secured a place where I can bring people to for classes and tournaments. So what I was trying to figure out is someone told me you need to capture the names, the emails and do email blasts. And I don't know what part of functionality do I need, but something to encourage them to identify where I am and what time and they can prepay for it. So I don't think I have those assets. I was trying to do it with people, so now I need to do it automatically. What do you suggest?
The simple thing is you have an event. It's an in-person event that people come to, the kids and their parents come to, or is it a virtual event?
No. This is live for right now. All of that's the event.
So when you say live, is it in person? Do they come and meet you in person?
In person, yeah, in person.
Okay, very good, very good. Then this is what I would do. I would just have a simple email list, sign-up sheet, and you can offer them some kind of gift in return for that email, which you will email them. Maybe it's a report on chess, how as a 10-year plan to become a world champion in chess or something. I'm just making this.
Well, I got about 400 emails right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm
from
trying to
all
stay
of the
focused.
parents I've had over the years.
I'm
just that they're all over the place. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm focusing on what you need to do here. So at the in-person event, you offer that. And I got that you have 400, but it's a good idea that your 400 is really good, actually. You can build a lot of business from 400, by the way. But every time you have an event, you invite the parents and the kids, preferably your parents, to sign up for because they're a decision maker, right, for finances. So have them sign up, and you promise them maybe a report and some articles that you drip to them every week. You can use this is very simple. Just get MailChimp.com. It's a very simple
MailChimp.
MailChimp, like MailChimp.com, and you can set it up very easily. If you want an admin that can do that, I'll lend you one of my admins. You just pay them $5 an hour. They'll set it up for you. Very easy to do.
How much an hour?
$5 an hour.
$5 an hour.
They're Filipino admins. They're very good. So you do that, and you set up the email list, and now you got an email list, which is good. Okay. So I don't know what other questions you might have about how to use that email list, but that's
no.
Question right.
I was trying to say that since I already have a footprint now, my office is globally known. Some people they come to my website all the time, and I have no way of capturing who comes.
So go ahead. I just answered your question on how to capture those emails. How you do.
Well, how would I do it if I'm not there? That's what I meant. If it's on my website.
Oh,
Or
then
if they call the
Mm.
phone number or something. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, there's a way of doing that using MailChimp. The consultants there and the
Okay.
admin can probably do that, and they'll create a little sign-up sheet on your website.
Okay.
You've probably seen it before, in return for this
Yeah.
report,
Yeah.
give me
Yeah.
your name and email address and, like that. Yeah.
Can you also correlate that with a payment so they can prepay for the classes too?
No,
Is all that on MailChimp?
you probably just want to get them in your email list first,
Okay. All
because
right.
most people are not going to buy from you right away. Probably not.
Oh,
So
the
you
people
wanna-
that know me, they love me. Are you kidding? I'm the only, they love me.
Well, you live in that fantasy. Try it out and let me know how that works.
Oh, let me tell you, I'm going, not only that,
All right.
but the person you refer me to. So
You prove me wrong, buddy. You prove me wrong.
no problem, man. I've done it
If you
many times
win,
before.
I'm happy for you. If I'm wrong, I'm happy. If I'm right, I'm not that happy actually.
Well, you're gonna be happy being wrong this time. But anyhow, last question.
I'll be the happiest man on earth, man. I got nothing invested in you.
So to get this person,
Yeah.
should I wait till after your webinar to get it, or how should I get the person? I don't want to take up anybody else's more time.
You need to design a sales funnel. I'll give you the main problem, the main thing you need to deal with. And you're a guy who plays chess, so you got to understand this strategically. You need to really have a well-designed sales funnel, and it sounds like you don't have one now. You may need to sit down with someone like me to help you design the sales funnel and then implement it. And you can implement that rather easily, probably on MailChimp and probably a payment processor, which won't cost you much. It's not really hard to do. There are plenty of people out there who can do this as well, but you really need a good design. And there are very, very few people who know how to design a good sales funnel. That's very rare because that requires an engineering mind to kind of think.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah.
I also am a top strategist. I'm world famous. That's what I learned.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. But you came here asking me a question, so I'm answering the question.
Right.
I had no trouble with you being the top strategist in the world. I've advised a lot of top strategists in the world.
Should I contact you after the seminar?
There's a link. I put a link in here. You're a funny guy, man. There are two links. You can select which link you want to do and just set up a time with me. Okay.
Okay. So is the links on here now?
It's in the chat box.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm good.
Pleasure to meet the top strategist in the world. All right.
Somebody just told me to mute myself, so I'm going to go ahead and mute myself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you got a lot of background noise. Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. Okay, I told you I wasn't at the perfect place.
Yeah, that's all right. No problem at all. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Teresa, you're next, please. Question. You're welcome. Yeah, welcome, sir. A pleasure to serve you. Yeah.
Hi, Sunil.
Hey, Teresa.
Yeah. So my question is kind of around. Right now, I'm kind of unclear. I'm in a waiting mode to proceed with my business strategy, and because I'm waiting on a professional business evaluator to give me an evaluation of the value of my company.
Right.
And until I get that evaluation, I don't know if it's going to be what I anticipate that I want to sell my company for, or if I'm going to have to get an investor instead and continue to scale and expand it and get a little more income to get it to the price that I want to sell it for. So in the meantime, and he told me to contact him today. He does probate court cases. So he said I'm his 10th case. So, and that was last week. So today he's going to give me an idea when he can. I already gave him all the information, but hopefully I'll meet with him in another week or at the latest or two. For him to give me that number, and I need that number to even plug it in to be able to talk to the investors intelligently. So, but in the meantime, it's affecting my energy and my attitude at work. And I noticed, like yesterday, because I have mixed messages of which way I'm going with my strategy. I don't really know right now. I feel like I'm in limbo, whether I'm selling or getting an investor, and it's causing me a lot of frustration with my employees. And I noticed yesterday I was kind of jumping on one of my employees, and she kind of called me on it and said I was, although it was warranted because she needs to show more initiative. And I was calling her on, that I need her to show, she's my assistant and I need her to show more initiative. She's calling me about little details. She's been with my company for over a year and she should know by now. But she's, she only made like 3 mistakes that were not good over the year, but for the most part, she does a great job and everything. But then I started looking at, how things are a mirror to us, right? And reflect what's going on with us. And I was trying to look at what are some of my unconscious negative feelings that I have about my work. And then when I was looking at how I was calling her on her initiative, I was looking at, well, where am I not taking initiative? And so I'm not sure that's really accurate, but I'm so frustrated right now in this waiting mode. And I was wondering if you have any suggestions on how to, deal with that.
Well, first off, you got to give yourself a break. Nobody's perfect all the time. And sometimes, when we get upset about something, it's always good to reflect on our responsibility on it. Because, as the old saying, the truth will set you free, but first it'll kind of piss you off.
Yeah.
See, right now you're kind of stuck in something, mostly because I think what you're saying is true. If you take more ownership of your reaction, because your reaction is really nothing to do with the other person. It's just something that's causing you to be triggered that way. And at the same time, the secondary reaction is usually to invalidate oneself for making that mistake. As a business leader, that tends to happen. Both mechanisms, the initial reaction, the secondary reaction to invalidate yourself, are all part of the nasty inner critic, the ego part of it's like a sub-personality. It's like a personality living in your brain that's been in there for a long time. Partly it's friendly. You got to make friends with it because it wants you to kind of like succeed. But it's doing it based on a lack of information, based on developing itself at a very young age when you were young to prevent you from getting into trouble. So it has come up with all kinds of strategies to, some of it's confusion. Some of it is invalidating opportunities or possibility or other people trying to show you love, so part of it is just to be aware of it, just to be aware that this sub-personality versus your vision are 2 completely different things. So you want to start looking at your vision, where you want to really land, that makes a difference. And strengthen that part of your personality. That means you may need a strong vision statement. I wasn't kidding when I said a vision statement, because when you have a strong vision statement, all these things are like, so what?
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 mantra you should have, maybe on all of you should have, is so what? So what I got upset? So what I'm sorry? Hey, okay, I'm sorry. So what? Then you start realizing there's certain things that really mean a lot to you, and other things that really don't mean anything to you and are just not of any use to you. One of which could be the reaction you have to this person. It's like, okay, so what? You got upset. Now, from the vision point of view, what can I do, or what will I do to keep my vision alive? Okay, I have a breakdown. I'm not sure where I want to go. Okay, so what? Okay, I'm feeling confused. Okay, so what? Well, what are my options? So you start asking for what are your options, then begins a lot more possibility. So you may want to write down, I got a whole process called the breakdown process. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That would be helpful.
I know you're going to
I felt like I was having a breakdown
You're
yesterday.
going to ask me for it, aren't you? Now I'll have to go dig it up.
Okay.
And like a crazy fool that I am, I've created all these processes. I got to find it. So if you email me, you got my email. I know you got me before. Just email me, ask me for the breakdown process. But it's basically in this format that you got to distinguish what the real breakdown is. A breakdown has a commitment, something you're committed to, and then a bump in the road or an obstacle. So you got to define where you're trying to go and what was the obstacle. The obstacle could be something that's throwing you off, thwarting you, or an unresolved communication, or an unfulfilled expectation. If you distinguish that, that's a first start. It's really good to distinguish it because now you know what's going on.
Unresolved communication or what?
Unresolved communication. You're thrown off. You're intending to go to Beijing, but a wind comes and blows you to Paris.
Yeah, you said it's a bump in the road or an obstacle or unresolved communication or what was the last thing?
You have an intention to go somewhere and you're thwarted. A thwarted intention.
A thwarted intention. Oh yeah. Okay.
And then an unfulfilled expectation. You had an expectation.
Unfulfilled expectation. That was it.
And you didn't get it. Of course, you're going to be upset. Any human being would be. So when you distinguish that, it starts becoming more clear. You can start compartmentalizing your breakdown independent of your vision. Make sense? Because otherwise, the whole thing becomes a big blob all over your body, all over your business. Starts taking over. You wake up in the morning, it's right there. You can't make sense of it. But now you're beginning to disassemble it. As you disassemble it, the inner critic starts quietening down because it knows it's going to lose the game. Hey, this really goes on, by the way, if you've done enough deep work like I have. Then the next thing to look at is, and I'm shortening this process, okay? But you want to look at, okay, what are the emotions I'm experiencing right now? And you can summarize it with SIFT. This is from the work of Daniel, whatever his name was, SIFT, S-I-F-T. Sensations in your body. What am I feeling right now in my body? Because your body has an amazing ability to process things once it gets more aware. Okay, SIFT, sensations, images. Please don't ask me for the acronym again. Sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts that are coming up. Thoughts are usually mostly opinions. SIFT, okay? So you start getting aware. And there are 5 stages of transformation. I'm probably giving too much information, but just bear with me. 5 stages are awareness, which I'm giving you right now. Normalizing, which the SIFT helps normalize it. Because once you have awareness, sometimes it's shocking. That's the pissed off part, the truth. Then the next step is creating a new context, which you already have. If you have a vision statement, use the vision statement. Okay, from the vision statement, what are my options for resolving this? List out all the options to resolve this, which is the 4th stage, structure systems. Then the next stage is you pick 1 or 2 options that are best for you, and you get someone to hold you to account on a daily basis to resolve this until it's resolved. And that will resolve this. It's one way to resolve it.
Okay. I'm writing these down.
This is also being recorded, so you can listen to it.
Okay.
Try to send that out as soon as we can. Okay.
All right, that's helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that. And were you going to put in the chat where we can find that video about creating a strong vision statement?
Damn it, such a demanding person. But I will do that. 1 second. Because I like you.
I'm due to probably revisit mine since I created mine when I started my company in 2015. So
yes.
Maybe time for me to update that.
Yeah. You probably don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Listen, the CEOs of big companies, big company for coaching. First question I ask them is, what's your vision statement? they have to ask their admin all the time to go out and find the vision statement, tell me what it is. That's pretty pathetic. Okay. So I put the link for the video in the chat box. Jayanti, please, your question. Yeah, madam.
All right. I'm so glad that I'm attending this session. It's so packed with
Aren't you?
insights and
You thought
experience.
you were
And
going to have a nice cup of coffee and do something
no, I'm
else,
out for lunch now.
watch some
I'm here to have
reruns
my
of
lunch.
Lost, or
Yeah,
Very good.
it's fantastic. Right. And I've been thinking of various areas of promoting my podcast. And recently I came across something called creating a business profile on Google. And you can bank on the reviews you get, and you can build your visibility and business.
Yeah.
So if you could brief me on that, it'll be very helpful.
What do you want to be briefed on? I mean,
Now, how does that work? The Google business profile, is it a paid service, or?
I believe it's paid and it's not very expensive. I think I
Okay.
have one too, which I
Mhm.
don't really use much of, to be honest with you, but we could. But there are reasons for that. You need a physical address, I think, for that.
Okay.
They will send
Oh,
you,
that's going to be displayed on the Google?
I believe so, or you can elect not to have it displayed.
Okay.
Then if it doesn't, I don't know if they changed it, so I don't know, but you may need to talk to someone, a Google expert, and can tell you more. But yeah, it's probably useful to do, because what's your nature of your business again, Jayanti?
It's publication and podcasting.
Oh, okay. Okay, it is podcasting. I thought you were doing a podcast for something, but okay, it is podcasting. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's probably a really good idea to get that and to leverage that and start getting reviews for it.
Correct.
In the podcasting world is so inundated right now. It's probably a better strategy. It's a good idea to do. I'm not saying don't do it.
Correct. I know. I'm just
You need to
thinking,
do it. Yeah.
right.
But I think your ultimate goal is to get more engagement and more, well, two things, podcast people to interview who have audiences, so you can promote and build audiences for yourself.
Collaboration.
Do you have a you don't have to answer this, but do you have a monetization for your podcast?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That may
As
be,
I said, it's in the very initial stages. So, I need to build my floor, first of all, to build on it. So get the floor
the first
done.
thing you want to do, probably, because you may build the wrong floor, is to come up with your offer first. You may need, well, there are two ways you can do this. You can explore the market and see what's good to sell out there. It's not a bad idea. So sometimes doing the Google thing and checking it out, you may want to go through a whole trial period and test it out using Google. That's valid, but it may also be useful in a parallel process to come up with something you are thinking of selling right now and have a shop front for that. Because if you have a good shop front, then you can have a well-designed sales funnel. Because the worst thing is when you get a lot of people. I hit this problem in 2008. I had so many people signing up on my meetup programs. I didn't know what to do with them. I literally ran out of ideas to sell. This is pretty sad. It's a fantastic point for me, right? So you don't want to run into that problem. You want to be ready for something to sell and offer.
Correct. Yeah.
So at least have.
I understand.
Yeah. And if you have something, then that will help design that Google page very well, so you can start getting engagement, not just likes, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we got 4 minutes here. Anybody? I know you asked some questions. I thought Gurjeet, you had another question. You have that question? No. Okay.
No.
All right. Great.
Thank you.
Great, very good. If you want to sign up for the session with me, it's a 30-minute session. We'll have to answer some questions, etc. But what you'll get in that 30 minutes is answering your primary question. And if there is a match and you want to work with me, and vice versa, then we can talk about that and the various options, how we can work together. All of you get value. Just raise your hand if you got value out of today. Just let me know. Yeah. Okay. Great. Awesome. We're back. I think we're going to retitle this as Business Owner's Advice next week. How many of you, what do you think of that title? Business Owner's Advice. Not very exciting, huh? Okay. All right. Oh, back to the
No, that's nice. It's pretty catchy and to the point.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't get the immediate reaction I was expecting, but okay.
No, I was just, I need a little time to
process
it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, great. Well, thank you very much for attending. Pleasure and honor to have the opportunity to make a difference for you all. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank everybody.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kirk.
You're
Namaste.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.